Hello and welcome to the MegaMonsterCast, where today we are talking about one of our side quest episodes, as I like to call it. This is part two of a three-parter we're doing, where we are covering uh, the live-action Sailor Moon, Kamen Rider Ryuki, and then our general comparison of the two series at the end. We've both talked about this, and spoiler alert, we think this one is the stronger of the two, but
Oh God, is it?
you'll get our general thoughts on that as a whole in a bit. So yeah, some fun little tidbits about Ryuki going into this. Ryuki is uh, was one of the more experimental of early Heisei.
You don't say.
Yeah, so Ryuki's entire premise was based around somebody at like somebody at the studio thought it would be cool to make um, a Kamen Rider that was heavily influenced by Highlander.
Highlander and mirror
Spiders.
dimensions.
Yeah, true.
Fuck the spiders. Fuck this whole episode.
Yeah, yeah. You got to remember though, as our co-host Alex learned, Kamen Rider almost always starts with a spider.
Yeah, but they were like spider themed. This motherfucker was a spider.
Yep. They cut out the themed part, dove right into spider. Yeah. So this series was largely based around doing some unique things with Kamen Rider at the time. The idea going into this was that for the most part, they wanted to play around with what a Kamen Rider was. So Kamen Rider, um, generally heroic. They usually get along if they like maybe there'll be some conflict, but they'll ultimately like team up. This Kamen Rider series did a few big firsts ish. Agito sort of tried to do some of these things, but Ryuki was the one that like cemented it. It had evil Kamen Riders, which had not been a thing. It had Kamen Riders fighting each other, sometimes like weekly, because the idea of this one is in the end there can be only one.
Yeah.
And it had the side monsters kind of be again a side feature, not necessarily like the main crux of the conflict. The monsters weren't the main enemy. They were there to help create conflict, but were not the only source of it, which I think is kind of cool. Yeah. So let's just dive right in. Our episode begins with
With an actual hell.
yep. So sun sets. We're following this woman around, and anytime she looks in a reflective surface, well, not anytime, but like she's rubbing her eyes because her eyes bothering her, and she's looking in a window that's reflective enough she can see herself. And as she walks away, we see a giant fucking spider in the window that isn't outside of the window, establishing the idea of these mirror monsters.
Ugh.
Hmm. She goes into her apartment. She's prepping, like getting herself ready to go to like her evening routine, and she sees this silk. the spider silk wrapped around her neck that she
Yeah,
doesn't see, like she can't feel. And when she reaches out and touches the mirror, which her fingers are covered in spider silk in the mirror, she pulls her finger away and the silk comes out of the mirror attached to her finger.
yeah. Now she's got the spider chisels.
Yep. As she's pulling it, the spider monster appears in her reflection behind her and freaks her out. So she turns around to see where it is, doesn't see it, and the spider reaches out of the mirror and pulls her in.
She could have easily escaped this thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, like they're doing some experimental shit with this. I can respect what they're trying to do. And then
I,
we
I think she just wanted out of her, 9 to 9 job.
yeah, that sounds about right too. Yeah, so then we see two people on the street, a man and a woman, who are, are hear the screams and are alerted to what's going on. The man goes over to look at himself in the window's reflection. Then he flips his fucking long coat out to make it look like he's Batman. It turns into a bat and flies off. That is our
First, I really thought he was just going to be self-centered, and it was just staring himself in the reflection, being like, "Damn."
yep,
And then no, he's fucking Man Bat.
yep. Then we get our title sequence for this show. We talked about the title sequence for last show. Uh, I think this one's dope as fuck.
Oh, this one's so good.
Um,
And Turbo Granny appears.
yep. I will also say, rewatching this, there's another Kamen Rider show I eventually want us to touch on, Kamen Rider Geats.
Oh
It
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it does some similar things with its opening sequence, which I really like. I which is a clear nod to this show, including like, did you notice we have a bunch of characters in the opening sequence who have like this weird like static shit going on over their eyes?
Yeah.
Those are characters we haven't run into yet. And Geats does the opposite, where when characters are eliminated, they get covered in static instead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of like that.
Dude,
Okay,
Geats fucking slaps.
with this setup, we get our 3 main characters.
Mhm.
Is she a writer, or she just
No, they weren't
the
ready for
the
that
lady in the
yet.
chair?
She's kind of the lady in the chair.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not quite ready for that yet. We do eventually get female riders, but it takes a while for them to get comfortable with that idea.
Okay, so instead of Lady Rider, we get CGI dragon.
Hmm.
That's kind of bad.
Yeah, it's better than other CG we've
It's
watched.
better than it's better than that in Luna we had.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, no,
Oh,
we won't get like a good female ride. Well, we won't get a female rider until like decade, which
holy
this
shit.
is the third Heisei rider. We don't get a female rider until the 10th Heisei rider. So we have
Oh
7 more
shit.
seasons. And then we won't get like one that has any sort of story significance, like main story. You won't get one that's like a strong presence in the story until like fuck, like I want to say 01, which is the first Reiwa rider. Yeah, no, it they were slow to adopt some things. Yeah,
And we're gonna do a crossover with the Beetleborgs.
yeah. We do kind of get we'll get a Metal Hero crossover every now and then too. They show
Hell
up
yeah.
periodically. Yeah, so we get focus on cell phones again, and people reading news on on their cell phones, which is kind of interesting. Like, I always have to remind myself Japan had a way different relationship with cell phones in the 2000s than we did.
Yeah.
Where like cell phones were kind of advanced in Japan compared to like here flip phone like you could play like games on it
Yeah, I
and
had
maybe
Snake.
yeah, but like maybe you could get on the internet, but like Japan that was like a strong like having an internet presence with your phone was like a pretty big thing. And this was 2002 that they were doing this. This also establishes what our main character is going to be about. That our main character is a journalist, and that a lot of the side characters he's initially connected to are journalists as well. Um, it's kind of a fun little take. I like that because it establishes like he's related to what's going on in the world. Like almost every Heisei rider has a different like job, um, with like a couple of exceptions. Our main character for Kuga was kind of like a nomad. He had like been a world traveler and he came back to Japan. Agito's was like an amnesiac. This is our journalist. We have a few other like kind of fun takes on like what characters are going to be. Like we have people who are in like secret organizations. We have people that are detectives. We have musicians, several musicians. We have um, scientists. We have doctors.
I
Uh,
just want a Kamen Rider that's just a factory worker.
oh gosh. Let me think. There's a non-0% chance of that. I don't remember what Gil's job was. Kamen Rider Gills might have been a factory worker. I don't remember. He was like,
Like a factory worker or a call center, and they're just like, God, I hate my life.
again, Gills might have been a factory worker. There's there's a few interesting ones out there. Let's say that. Yeah. We also get like a fun little gimmick where the editor of the newspaper is pissed off that they used an embarrassing photo from the Christmas party for him.
Just completely drunk and shirtless.
Yep. Which you can tell it's 2002 because if it was now, he would have been fucking canceled and lost his job for that.
Oh my God, he would have been gone.
Hmm.
And it's funny because, like, is she HR or is she like another journalist? Because the way she pulls it up,
I think she is supposed to be like. I think she's supposed to be like their web master, basically. Like I
calling
think
out,
that's her
she
job.
has an obsession because she has like 80 photos of him shirtless.
No, I imagine she took those photos so she could cycle through them as he asks her to switch them. Like I
Yeah.
truly believe that. But yeah, so then we get introduced to Shinji, our Kamen Rider Ryuki, who was in an accident because he was riding too close to a truck in front of him, and
Yeah.
he's dealing with some shady people because of it. Gets
He's
called
just
into work.
beating the shit out of him.
Oh yeah, which I mean he takes it, and then well he tries to stand up for himself, but he can't really stand up for himself much. But he gets called in to back up Reiko, the a more senior journalist who's out interviewing people. We learn she hates fucking cops.
I wonder why.
Yeah, because all the cops are bastards. Yeah. So she is going to be semi-important at least. Like everyone we're introduced to in this first episode is at least somewhat important. Um,
They're gonna pop back up then.
oh yeah, I mean like he's still he's a June like he's basically the intern. Like he stays at this newspaper for the rest of the series as far as I remember. And maybe the movies. That's actually what's kind of interesting is they have these characters come back semi-regularly. Ryuki is one of the series that they revisit every now and then, where the actor who plays Shinji returned to play Kamen Rider Ryuki in the Kamen Rider Geats movie in 2022.
Uh,
Like he still comes back every few years to play that character. He was also in Kamen Rider Geo in 2019. He was in one of the Heisei Rider movies in 2018, and he was in two Kamen Rider video games playing his character. Like he comes back every now and then to just voice him when there's
he's like
a
the
good reason.
orb then.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then we are Shinji happens to walk by our two cool characters, Hat Lady and Overcoat Man, who will have names, but he doesn't know them, so we don't know them. And
Eh,
they're trying to figure out what happened to that woman who was attacked by the spider.
Yeah, we get this really weird scene of a clip coming out of a mirror.
Yep. And we get the reminder that hey, we're journalists, we're not cops, so like, you know, don't pretend you're a fucking cop.
Otherwise, you'll get arrested.
hmm Then get some more little elements of like Shinji talking to various people, and we get a weird glimpse of a red dragon, but it's not Hannibal Lecter stuff.
God, could you imagine a Hannibal Lecter Kamen Rider?
Uh, I'm not gonna say that doesn't happen.
God damn it! What
There's
series?
there's definitely some pretty evil Kamen Riders out there. There's something not too dissimilar from that in this series, in fact. Yeah, so Shinji finds this little like card holder thing because that's another mechanic of the series is cards. And we look,
Yeah, this is the Yu-Gi-Oh of Kamen Rider.
uh, dude, I'm gonna be real honest with you, dude. There's a lot of fucking there's a lot of those.
God,
Yeah, the not the next one after this, but the one after that is also card based, and then Decade is
dude, what
card
is
based.
with it with the early 2000 card-based stuff?
That one is like a deck of cards, like a 52, like oh the seven of diamonds, like that one. Oh yeah, no, like 100%.
They just got lazy. Okay.
Yeah, no, Kamen Rider Blade is, hey, what if there was a deck of cards, but it was evil?
Oh my god.
Let's deal with
Any
that
casino
concept.
ever.
Yep. Yeah. So then the dragon comes out of a building across the way. And as he's going to Shinji, Shinji holds up a card, and the dragon keeps bouncing off of it until he knocks him inward with a blast of light.
That stupid fucking kid.
Yep. Then Reiko is being stalked by the spider because she's its next prey. And we see
Yeah, she's
those.
covered in spider jism.
Yep.
Gross.
We continue to see the weirdo couple who one of them again has this say a similar card holder as Shinji, but it has like a different design on the outside. He hears noises and sees in the reflections on the side of cars a the spider monster. And the lady of the couple's like, "Hey, can he see the monsters? Is it like possible that he's able to notice them too?" And the guy's like, "No, that can't be right."
No, no. If he could see it, then I would have to kill him.
Mhm. And she walks up to him like, "Hey, are you a Kamen Rider? The fuck is that?"
You know, a writer of common.
Yeah. And then he gets sucked into the reflection on the side of a car, only to turn into a weird black knight.
Yeah, that actually threw me off. I'm like, wait, he's not red.
Yep, yep. I mean, we'll get that. Yeah, so then the other guy transforms into his Kamen Rider form, Kamen Rider Knight.
Yeah, the bat that laughs.
Yeah, I genuinely like his design a lot, although I think his fucking motorcycle sucks ass. It looks too much like the Tron cycle.
But it's got hydraulics.
Yeah, but the seat bothers me.
I have to relook at the seat.
Like the seat raises up when he gets out of it. Also, he has a bat called Darkwing that bonds with him.
I was, oh man, if only it was a duck.
Yep. So he shows up and he sees Shinji, now
Oh, it
Ryuki.
does lift up.
Yep. He sees Shinji, now Ryuki, fighting the spiders like, "Oh, you don't even have a contract beast. You must fucking suck."
You bitch.
Summons a even cooler weapon than his already cool sword. And Shinji's like, "Oh, so I could use these cards for stuff too? Cool." So he uses a card to summon a sword himself.
That has 300 attack power.
Yep.
Immediately fails.
Oh yeah. Well, it's because he doesn't have a contract beast yet. And then Kamen Rider Knight uses this cool finisher attack where he wraps himself in his cape to turn into a drill and skewers the fucking spider.
Okay, so I just want to say, because I watched the next episode, our Riku's finisher is stupid.
Yeah, it's not my favorite one. I think there's better rider kicks in the world. There's better stuff out there. The final vent is not the best, but it's not terrible in my opinion.
Oh man, I hope he finds a different vent.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was Kamen Rider Ryuki. I
It's
appreciate
not
this one.
fully over yet.
True.
We get the dragon attack.
Yeah, we do get the dragon attack. The dragon attacks, and they're like, okay, well, this thing's clearly gonna. The dragon's attacking. It's clearly gonna bond with you. So that's what the next episode's about.
Spoilers.
I mean, all the promotional art shows him in a red suit, and the
And a
dragon
dragon.
is red. Spoiler alert: the fucking dragon's name is Drag Redder.
What?
Yeah, no, it's not a great. I imagine it sounds cooler when you're Japanese and don't always hear English.
Drag Redder.
Yep.
Nope, doesn't sound good in English at all.
Nope. Yeah. So yeah, that's Ryuki. I like Ryuki a lot. Out of the shows we watched for today's recording, I think this is obviously the better one, but I
Yeah.
also have watched a lot of this one, so I'm going to think it's better too. I mean, I think it's a more balanced show as a whole, but
Well, I mean, hell, I like watching the old Sailor Moon, and I agree. This is way better than that live action one.
yeah. But yeah. So, anything you want to say before we call this one?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. I think
Okay, cool.
this is
Oh,
definitely a this is definitely a show I'm gonna keep up and put it on the background.
okay. Well, yeah. Then tune in next time where we give our general thoughts on these. Bye bye.
Bye now.